All right, this is April, also known as Grandmama. Grandmama, also known as April. Okay, I want to give you an update as to what's been going on in the room with me. Okay, so I talked to you about not being afraid of different things, catching germs here and germs there, germs everywhere. Okay, so we got a new roommate, and lo and behold, she had already asked about towels. I told her, okay, my towel is in there and you absolutely are forbidden to use it. Within the first 10 minutes, do not use my towel. The rack actually belongs to me. Don't put anything on my rack and don't use my towel. Okay? So, well, I noticed after she had already clearly said she didn't have a towel, but I noticed she came out of the bathroom all dry. Okay, now my message is about not being afraid. Afraid of this germ, afraid of that germ, afraid of this and afraid of that. Okay, so I bring my towel out with my hands. I don't act like it's contaminated. I passed the towel around. I said, does this towel feel wet to you? And one of the girls said no. I said, did anybody use my towel? Everybody said no. Now keep in mind, I just saw the person come out of the bathroom dry as a bone. And she didn't have a towel. Okay. So the last girl, of course, I asked the new person. Of course, she said no. So the last girl that felt the towel, she said, yeah, it is damp. But it's probably from the steam. Which it could have been damp from the steam, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, but she wasn't in there no super long time. I understand how the window, the mirrors, and all this sort of stuff get steamed up, but she wasn't in there a super long time. I'm like, so I said, I really think she did, but I can't go into a state of panic because, hey, I'm trying to teach people how to act like they're gods. Gods don't. Now, excuse me, I'm moving around. I'm having a few technical difficulties right now, so you'll see me moving the camera from one location to the other, trying to get out of this heat. Okay, so anyway, I put the towel back in there because I had already told you how they're okay with putting used gloves on top of my towels, so I can't do it. I can't go into a state of panic because I'm training myself. Whatever I encountered, now am I going to get these things? No. Alrighty, so also the same new person, because I'm on the bottom bunk, she said, well, can I climb up? Can I use your bed to climb up to my bed? I said, absolutely not. So what she was asking me was, can I step with my dirty socks up on your bed, which is right where your pillow is and where your face is, to climb up to my bed? I said, absolutely not. I said, no, you cannot. She said, well, I guess some people are special. I said, well, I guess the normal people just really don't want all them germs on their faces and in their mouths. So we were done with that. So later today, she was up in her bed, and I was talking to a friend of mine that was there. And what do I see hanging, dangling over the foot of my bed? I see feet. I'm like, she better not. She better not. Now Now this time I really probably was gonna lose my temper with this girl, because I had already said absolutely not, and I already highly felt like she had used my towel, my personal towel. Okay. So the lady was standing in front of her and she looked at her like, I know you're not getting ready to step your nasty feet on her bed. So then she changed and went somewhere else. I'm like, okay. I asked the girl, I said, did you see what I saw? She said, yeah, I looked at her. That's the only reason she changed. She was going to put her feet in your bed. And I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't do this. Can't do it. Now, this is what they told me about me. They said that the people here, the ladies say, I'm a nice version of Maria. Okay. Because I try to be nice. I try to give everybody a legitimate chance, you know. But I wasn't going to have her messing up my bed, messing up my peace. So I told her, I said, look, this whole area is off limits to you. The whole area, my whole area is off limits to you. So I'm not going to tell you this no more. I'm nice and sweet telling you this. Don't put your feet on my bed. Don't put your hands on my bed. Don't put your clothes on my bed. Because if I have to tell you again, you won't like it. That's just how I operate, okay? Maybe that's why people say I go for bad. I don't think I go for bad. Now I'm going to tell you another story about your relatives. Sampson, did you know that before Sampson tore down the Colosseum, Sampson had killed like 1,000 men or 2,000 or 3, I don't know, but it's thousands of men with a donkey's jawbone before he pulled down the Colosseum. I'm trying to tell you about some of your relatives. You need to really find out about them so you'll know that the God is already in you, okay? Now we know that his strength that the Lord gave him was in his locks. And I'm sure they were probably long because he never cut them. So he had to have some mighty long locks. Anyway, so the love of his life that he finally met, which was Delilah, she betrayed him. And you know how the story goes. Had the guys cut all of his hair off and all this. So he lost his strength because the Lord said, you shall never cut your hair. And he did. Anyway, long story short, they burnt his eyes out, and so they were having a big event at the Coliseum like we do nowadays, and only to make fun of him. So he asked his kid to let him put both of his hands on the post on one side and the other of the Coliseum. Now I hate the way he died, because he didn't really have to do that. He said that let him die with the people. He didn't really have to do that, but anyway, he ended up killing everybody, and of course he died too. But I forgot to tell you that he had been a judge for maybe about 20 years. You need to find out about your relatives, how they operate in the supernatural. So another time they tried to get him. Thank you, Lord, for reminding me. But they thought that they had captured him. He just broke the bands, and then not only he broke the chains or bands, he left with the doorpost of the city. How about that? Bruh, left with the doorpost of the city. Now, I have a similar story to tell you. I have a nephew, got into some trouble writing bad checks. Okay, so he said when he was in the liquor store writing a check, the door slammed and he knew he was locked in. So he started panicking and he got afraid. So what did he do? He told me, he said, Aunt April, I pulled the door hinges off the door. I said, you did what? I said, man, that sounds like something Sampson did. I said that to myself. So listen, you got to learn how to activate the God in you. I'm outside. You got to learn how to use your mouth. You got to do a lot of hollering. Okay, I'll give you another example. I want you to follow the pattern. Follow the pattern. The pattern is, it was a guy in the Bible saying, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on, because he heard that he was passing by. And they said, shut up. So he started yelling louder, Jesus. I'm telling you, all of this emotional, we got a big mouth by default. Son of David, have mercy. And Jesus said, get him. Let me see what he wants. And then they said, well, this your lucky day. He calling for you. But at the end of the day, I need you to follow the pattern. The guy got what he wanted from God because he was yelling out. And the people could not. He refused to be shut down. Okay? Another instance in the Bible where Sarah's handmaid had a baby by Abraham, and his name was Ishmael. That's why I tell you that we're related to the Arabs. We're related because Abraham had an outside child, okay? Isaac's older brother, okay? So that Sarah got sick of them making fun of Sarah and all this sort of stuff. Sarah got tired of, so she told Abraham, he said, do what you want. So Sarah kicked her out. And so they had ran out of food, ran out of water. That's a message in itself. I told you it's going to be a famine. So anyway, they ran out of food, ran out of water. She had the young lad with her, and she started crying, okay? So the Lord didn't hear her. But guess, when the child started crying, the blood of Abraham started crying, guess what happened? He answered. He said, go right there. You'll find some water. He started telling the mother what to do. After the seed of Abraham started crying, follow the pattern. You're born with a big mouth by default. Use your, not that you're manipulating God, you're just crying for real. You're built like that, to be emotional and have a loud mouth. So the young guy started crying, and the Lord heard him, and he answered. He told the mother what to do. You're going to have to learn how to act like you're God, okay? These are basic principles on what some of the people that you need to read about actually did. Look in the book of Hebrews. Just do a Google search and say supernatural people, or people that operated in the supernatural in the book of Hebrews, because they give you like a long list of people, okay, of people that operated in the supernatural. So I'm here just to, in one of the videos coming up shortly, I'm gonna do another prayer. It's gonna be longer. The other one cut off. Oh well, but you got the gist of what I was saying. You got to follow the pattern. If somebody's doing something and it's working, plus God said, Jacob's kids, I told you you are God. I told you you are God. When you going to believe it? When? When are you going to believe that you are God? You're wired that way. You're the son of the Most High. I'm a son. That's what he called me, so that's what I'm claiming. You are sons of the Most High God. Okay? So, I'm not going to let him be disappointed in me. Before I leave here, I'm going to be operating in the supernatural. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this is April, also known as Grandmama. I'm giving you an update on what's going on, so I'm just going to hold on to my towels and washcloths and wash them on tomorrow. But I was pretty, I forgot to tell you, the girl admitted, she said, I didn't want you to think I'm a liar. I did use your towel. I said, oh, really? After I said all that. She said, yeah, I didn't want you to be mad at me. I really did. I guess she figured I'm like, this girl is lying. So she said, I didn't want you to think that I'm a liar. I said, but you are. But you are. She said, yeah, but I didn't want you mad at me. Because I had already told her, the people that make us mad, we throw them under the bus. We do. We throw them under the bus. People in our room, well, everybody gets along. Don't come here in here rocking our boat. You will be thrown under the bus. Okay? So she was more afraid of me knowing that she's lying. So she came back and said, I just dried my hair off. I just dried my hair off. I didn't want you to think I was a liar. I said, but you are. Anyway, this is April, also known as Grandmama. This is Grandmama, also known as April. I was really upset, but I still couldn't go into a state of panic like, oh, the germs, the grossness, the nastiness, ugh, you know, somebody's buttocks and all this sort of crap. Can't do it. Anyway, I'm just going to wash all my stuff, and they know not to touch my stuff because I can go ham, okay? I try not to. I don't do it often, but I have. Anyway, have a great day. This is April, also known as Grandmama. This is Grandmama, also known as April. Look up some of your relatives. That's your homework assignment. Shalom.